Here's Tucker. Okay, he's at Turning Point USA, and go for it, Rob.
Not acceptable. And I think the real answer is Jeffrey Epstein was working on behalf of Intel Services, probably not American. And we have every right to ask, on whose behalf was he working? How does a guy go from being a math teacher at the Dalton School in the late 70s with no college degree to having multiple airplanes, a private island, and the largest residential house in Manhattan? Where did all the money come from? And no one has ever gotten to the bottom of that because no one has ever tried. And moreover, it's extremely obvious to anyone who watches that this guy had direct connections to a foreign government. Now, no one's allowed to say that that foreign government is Israel because we have been somehow cowed into thinking that that's naughty. There is nothing wrong with saying that. There is nothing hateful about saying that. There's nothing anti-Semitic about saying that. There's nothing even anti-Israel about saying that. I've spent my entire life pretty much in Washington, where I knew and loved a number of people, including one very close person who worked at CIA. That has never prohibited me from saying, I think the CIA has done some horrible things, murdered a bunch of people, participated in the murder of a sitting U.S. president. It's got a whole trail of crimes. That doesn't make me a disloyal American. It doesn't make me anti-American in any sense. I was born here. My family's been here for hundreds of years. I love this country. That's why I live here. So criticizing the behavior of a government agency does not make you a hater. It makes you a free person. It makes you a citizen. You're allowed to do that because you're not a slave. You're a citizen. And you have a right to expect that your government will not act against your interests, and you have a right to demand that foreign governments not be allowed to act against your interest. That's not creepy. It shouldn't be forbidden. And yet all of us have trained ourselves
Rob,
to believe that you can't say that.
This is this clip right here is where they talk about Bondi and Bongino and the fallout.
Okay, play that one here.
Do you think Dan is upset because his integrity is being questioned now over her mistakes?
Oh my gosh. So you're Dan and you're a media figure and you've got one of the biggest podcasts in the country and you're making tons of money and you're having a great time, which he was. You just built this brand new studio in Florida. You work with your wife, who you really like, which she does. And you get the call saying you'd be deputy FBI director. And you're like, I love Donald Trump. I love this country. I will, cut my pay by, into a tenth of what it was. And I will leave my house and move to D.C., which is a kind of prison sentence itself. And I will do this because I love the president. I love the country. And you're there a few months. And all of a sudden, everybody thinks you're covering up Epstein's crimes. And it kind of wrecks Dan's career. Like, he can't go back. It's going to be very hard at this point. I mean, things may change. But as of today, pretty hard for Dan to go back to his podcast audience and be like, I'm telling you the truth, when they all think he's covering up for Epstein. Who did that? Pam Bondi did that. And I don't know that she did it on purpose. I'm assuming not. I don't think she's a mean person. I've never gotten that sense. But for whatever reason, she went out there and said things that were not true, that she could not back up. And then they issued this memo thinking that it would clear everything up.
That was embarrassing.
And I guess they're just so dumb, they didn't realize that if you tell everybody you have the tapes of these crimes and then you issue a memo saying you're not going to prosecute anybody for the crimes, what are you saying?
That's I'm
covering up for the
Adam, that's the most basic question everybody is upset about.
Sure.
That's the most basic thing everybody is upset about.
That Pam announced something and then retracted her statement?
That somebody on Trump's team made an announcement that they're going to do that, and then they're changing it. Tom, you look like you want to say something.
Yeah, well, Pam didn't make an announcement. Pam got busted.
Caught.
Possibly just here, I don't know Pam personally, and I don't want to be harsh here, but is it possible that she got caught in a restaurant and saying some things, says, I've told you a million times, just hyperbole. And she got busted saying that. It became a news item overnight, and she walked not to a podium, but to the White House lawn and doubled down on what she said. Is it possible that she shouldn't have done it that way? Is it possible that now that kind of put a stake in the ground and all of a sudden it's like, okay, now we've got 10,000 videos. Now what? I really wonder if she was just talking over the top with somebody got busted because it was overheard. She's in a public restaurant. So bad idea if it was hyperbole. Bad idea to be talking in a restaurant. And then you doubled down on the driveway on an impromptu media op at the White House. And here we are. I wonder.
No, Adam, say what you're going to say.
If we can go back to that list, and that's sort of the center of my entire thesis here, is that I understand why people are frustrated by this. I too have watched Game of Thrones. I too watched Tiger King and wanted to know what was next. But my major emphasis is, I don't know. And either do you, homie. And you can say what you think all you want. And I respect the hell out of that. But I mean this. You don't know. And that's okay to say. The hardest thing to do as a podcaster is when Pat goes, all right, buddy, what's your opinion? And I go, yeah, I don't know on this one. I just don't know.
Yeah.
The humility it takes to say, yeah, I don't know what happened. I don't know if he was CIA.
Well, no.
I don't know if he was Mossad.
Those are two different things. No,
okay.
hang on.
Thank you.
Adam, I brought this up to give you an argument.
Thank you. And
so what I'm trying to say to you is I don't know. None of us know.
Thank you for acknowledging that.
No.
But our friend Vinny here
he doesn't.
just said he did know.
No.
Is my point.
The point is none of us know, but we all have an opinion. If this podcast wasn't without you sharing your opinion, there is no podcast.
Correct.
People are simply watching this to say, Adam's full of shit. I agree with Adam. Vinny's angry. I don't know. Vinny's out of control. You know what? He's the only guy that's the truth. You know what, Tom? I like what Tom. Pat, they get to judge. And they get to talk trash and say good things and say bad, and that's okay. We're talking opinion.
Yes.
Your opinion, which is a very valid opinion. Your opinion is he never ran on this.
He didn't run on this.
I know. That's what I'm saying to you. So
Yes.
you can give that opinion.
And that's all I'm trying to say.
That's it. I'm with you.
And I'm just mirroring Trump here. This wasn't on my top 3, just like we've had conversations about AutoPen. This was not in my top 10. It's getting closer to my top 3. It ain't there yet. And I acknowledge, you know what? I sort of downplayed the AutoPen thing because there's a lot of sort of domino effects of, I don't know what happened here. It's still not in my top 3. But what's my point? Trump never ran on Epstein. He never acknowledged this as like, this is what I'm going to get out there and do. But you and people like you, rightfully so, have said, this is my top 3 and he campaigned on this and this is number 1. And you made that up in your head. Because I'm going down this list and I'm also like sarcastically waiting for Epstein to be in the top 20. It ain't even in his top 20 list. Can we acknowledge that? Can you acknowledge that?
Yeah, I could acknowledge it.
Okay, perfect.
But
we're good.
Here's my thing.
But
too.
but just say this.
Go ahead.
It's in your top 3. But it's not
Adam,
in Trump's
and
top 20.
You know what made it go in the top 3? The freaking lying. The sitting and looking in a camera and bullshitting us, thinking that we're those losers and those idiots that you're talking about. Adam, we're not stupid and we're not fucking losers, okay? When a promise comes out of your mouth, I learned this big time with him. You know why? I would say something to one of his kids, Tico, just in a small little passing. Uncle Vinny, can we watch a movie? I say, yeah, Sunday, blah, blah, blah. He would hit me up and be like, Tico's going crazy, asking me where you are because you said X, Y, and Z. When you make a promise, even to a little kid, they want the fucking sorry for my cussing back. So, but let me finish.
I get it.
So when
who made the promise though?
Donald Trump.
Who made the promise?
It wasn't on his campaign promises to the American people list. But Adam,
like
he is on multiple.
The thing that he ran on.
He's on camera multiple
sort
times.
Of important.
Hold on. He's not only on camera multiple times. Adam, the Cash Patel.
Show me.
I will
show me Trump on camera.
Look, Trump
saying I'm going to get to the bottom of Epstein.
I'm going to get the Epstein list.
Show me that.
All right, let me finish. Let him while he's looking that up. Not only the president, his son. When you can find that video, find the son of the video of Don Jr. and then Cash Patel. How many? On the couch podcast.
Just
hold on,
show
Adam.
me Trump.
I let you talk. Let me finish. He's gonna show you the Trump. By the way, and it's multiple here and on podcasts. Which one's the other one? And on CNN. He did it on MSNBC. How many times are you gonna say it? And then the team around you, the Cash Patels, the Dan Bongino's entire thing.
Who do you think knows more on this? You or Cash Patel?
What do you mean knows more about this?
Who do you think knows more about this situation?
That now knows exactly what happened
you
and is covering
or
it
Cash
up?
Patel?
Cash Patel, for sure.
Okay, who knows more, you or Pam Bondi?
Pam Bondi has more.
Who knows more? You were
Okay,
Dan
and Adam,
Bongino.
Can you pull up
Adam,
Cash's
So
tweets?
I'm going to listen to them,
And what's
not
your
you.
point, Adam? Well, hold on. You know why that's a dumbass argument? What do they know more? Meaning they saw the dirt, Adam, and now they're being quiet. I'm not stupid. Nobody in here is stupid.
Here we go.
You know.
The conspiracy theories just aren't true.
Yeah.
Never have been. It's an honor to serve the President Trump, Donald Trump, and I'll continue to do so for as long as he
And
calls
who
on me.
tweeted this?
But wait a minute.
This is Cash
I'm going to
Patel?
move on. I'm going to move on with this, and I
got
want
it.
to just finish up with this.
But Vinny disagrees, so he must be wrong.
Both of you
You trust the FBI.
have an argument. And what's weird is both of you are right. Two people can be right on the same argument. You're right that he never ran on this, and you voted for him. As a guy that's never voted for a Republican president ever in your life, this is the first time you ever voted on it, but you never voted on this. So you're being upfront with the audience. Vinny's also right, because what Vinny's trying to say is, why are you thinking I'm dumb? There's hundreds of clips of many clips of Cash Patel giving a complete opposite argument of that. We're not going to play it right now. We got a lot of other issues to get into. This was a fumble. And Ben Shapiro on Megyn Kelly, I watched this one as well, where, you know, he's like, well, what's the big deal? You know who my resources are? Here's my sources, saying the fact that nothing happened. President Trump, Vice President J.D. Vance, Cash Patel, Pam Bondi, and then Megyn Kelly's like, but you can't say that because we can question that. Both are right. Massive fumble. All I'm watching right now is to see how the hell they're going to recover from this coming in. That's all I'm watching. What different methods they're going to come through this part. The future looks bright hats that are the ones that never stay on the shelves, and you guys ask for more of this style, is the future looks bright where the phrase is on the flipping hat. This is now, these hats, when you see these letters coming out, they don't stay a long time. And these new ones that we have, the black is a navy blue.
That's navy blue.
And white typography. It is absolutely sick. They're not numbered. Well, we didn't order a big supply of them. We ordered a limited supply of them, so it's going to be a first come, first serve. It'll go out. We got the Miami color one. The future looks bright. This one's absolutely sick. When you look at this on the inside of it, Rob, if you can show what that looks like. Right there on the back end, yeah. And then we have another one that's the gray and future looks bright with the American flag. And then obviously those of you that, the community that is just obsessed with the black on black on black, this is the black on black on black, future looks bright.
Well, give me the gray.
Lot of black.
Vinny,
Lot of
We
black.
call this the Chicago special.
no, Vinny, give me the gray one.
Yeah, the black on black on
All
black.
right, thanks. Mine now.
Yeah, the black on black is absolutely sick. But any one of these. So if you're someone that hasn't yet gotten the future looks bright with the phrase on top of it, go get one for yourself. Get it as a gift. Send it to someone. Make someone's day. Buy it for your sales team. Buy it for your office. We are over 300,000 people now representing Future Looks Bright worldwide. And we're 700,000 away from crossing 1 million.
If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.